YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, as you might or might not be able to tell, I'm working on the battery here. And I'm putting a winch in, so you can go check out that video if you would like on my Razor playlist. But beyond that, this battery is not hooked in. I don't know what it is with me and buying rigs, but I think I've bought about 2 vehicles in my lifetime that actually had the battery held down of some sort. So regardless, this one doesn't have that yet again, and before I hook everything back up, I want to make sure this is in here and safe. I did look. I don't know as these are all that expensive, but I couldn't find one for this particular 2011 Razor here, so I'm just going to try and build one first. I got a couple ideas depending on what works and doesn't, and hopefully between the two we'll figure something out. But I'm going to start out with just basically a similar style that they would have built for this. So we got our piece of scrap metal here. As you can see, I've made other things out of it. Now I need to be able to put a couple folds in this and do that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to do 12 inches here. That'll allow me to have a little bit extra. I can always cut it off. I can still weld on more too, but I'd rather not have to. So I'm going to go right at 12 inches and mark this out here. So I'm going to clean this up so it's easier to work with, and then I'll be back. But it's a good start. I'm going to clean this up so that it's not sharp, and we'll go to the next part. Obviously be careful, this is metal. I'm going to kind of put this in about where it's going to go. About right there. So I need to bend this that direction, which will clamp into a hole down here. And then I'm going to come across and I'm going to have to kind of cut this probably out somewhere in here. And there's a hole in the plastics right here that is threaded, and that is how that hooks down. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do some cutting and molding and chopping. But for right now, let's see, we're going to try and make the hook first. And that technically, I'm coming here, definitely going to have to narrow this in a little bit right here. We are going to be bending it probably around in here. I'm going to give myself a little extra because if it's a little long it won't really matter. And I'm going to just put 2 marks on it here in a similar area. I'm going to check this. I think this is a good width right here. I'm going to go check that and see. And this goes right through that hole that I want it to go through. So quite honestly, I'm going to eyeball this. And we are going to come up here and up here. And then right where those 2 marks are right there, we're going to cut off this. I'm just going to put a line across there. Hope I can see everything. I'm sure you can't see these lines. Here, let's see if I can darken these up. So we're coming along here and right along there, along here, and right along there. And we're taking out this section and that section. Yet again, this is not perfect. We're just kind of seeing if this works, and if it bugs me later on down the road, I'll make a different one. Let's see here. So we need to go in that like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and anvil it over a little bit here. I'm just going to do that. That's perfect. Now that should go down in there, hopefully. Oh, I might have bent it a little bit too much. And I did. So I'm going to have to bend this back out a little bit here. I just used a pair of pliers and kind of bent it out a little bit more. And one thing, this battery will move out. So if I take and put the battery out, I can hook that in like that. This is going to come up and I'm going to mark it. Now I got another piece of this right here that's going to go basically across there. So I'm going to lift up on this and go ahead and put this across here yet again. So it's fairly flat. And I'm going to mark that right across there. And that should be where I need to bend this to come across at, or close to it yet again. We got to make sure this hooks into here and I want it to bend that direction. So we got to find our mark here. Yet again, this isn't rocket science, nor is it something that needs to be perfect. It just needs to hold the battery down and do a good job of that. Now the biggest problem we're going to have is that once I get to here, I'm going to have to go back down and then back out that direction. So before I start cutting too much off, I need to figure out where that bend is actually first. And I'm going to, yet again, we're just kind of eyeballing things here. I'm probably going to get in your way to do it. So we need to make this bend down. And I'm going to, yet again, measure how far down based on the battery that's in mine. So this is going to go down. Then I'm going to go from that mark there to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So right in there somewhere, it's going to go the other direction. So this will hook on the battery right here, goes up across the battery. This is going to go down right there, and then from here that's going to go back that direction. Alright. Okay. Now this one is right there. I'll go a little bit tighter, or a little bit more, because this will bend a little bit and give. And this, we're going to try that. There we go. Wow, probably went a little bit too far even. Alright, and there is what we got so far. Let's go see where we're at now. This out, under, and over. I'm going to bring that way. Let's see here. So that works there, but we are quite a bit longer than we need to be here. So, bring that in. This gives me a fairly good idea of where I want to cut it at. Right in here, straight across there. Actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of eyeball where this is going to be coming down at right here. So that's going to go right about in that area. So I need to make kind of a, probably come in a little bit here and bring this over in around like that. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off. Let's see if she'll fit here. goes there, that goes there, that goes a lot there. We're pretty darn close. Admittedly, this is kind of pushing this out a little bit, so I probably should have made this bend just a little bit further up right here to hold down on this. But what I think I'm going to do is bend this side in a little bit and bend this side in a little bit here. Just kind of that, and then bend that up. Let's see how things go. That might have screwed that up a little bit here. Oh, really good. There we go. So, got that there. Yeah, bring this out a little bit here now because I bent this in, so this needs to come out a little bit. It's still hooking pretty good. Once you get around there, she is not coming, it's not going to come off. And the battery will move maybe up a little bit, but this will give me, if I change a battery out or something like this, that should help a little bit. Now the hardest part's going to be figuring out where that hole is, right there. I am going to drill it somewhere in this area a little bit larger. Then I can put a washer on whatever screw I put in there. Alright, let's see if this will fit in there. I actually have not tried it yet, so we shall see. I hate to say it, but sometimes I'm good. Alright, and then I did test this. This is a fender washer, probably off a Mustang. I don't know. I have lots of fender washers from lots of different cars. But that actually, it's a pretty coarse thread, but it feels like it's gonna go down in there pretty nice. So we shall see. And it comes with a built-in washer on it, so it should hold well. It doesn't have any pointy ends on it that will hit anything, plus it doesn't seem to be too long. Alright, there we go. Now it's not perfect, but I could put a little bigger battery in there if I need be. And I went ahead and put some of this just on the back side as just kind of a case it rubs wrong or something like that. It'll wear this down rather than the battery or the bracket that I made. And it's just some sticky PVC. This is actually something I put around some gas pipe that I buried a long time ago. So that's what at the time you used. I don't know. It's 20 mil PVC tape stuff. I'm sure you can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those home stores should probably have it. But I'm going to put that on there, and I found I've used this stuff for a lot of things, from wrapping some of my axe handles so that I don't kill them, to this kind of stuff where I'm trying to kind of buffer or keep things from getting bunged up, for lack of a better way of saying it. Now, if you don't want to go through this and bend up a piece of metal, if you're a pack rat like me, you tend to keep just about everything you can that has a buckle or a switch or something like that. Now this one wouldn't work exactly. I'd have to get a different buckle for it because it doesn't have a buckle, but one of my plans was to take this and hook it on right there, bring it over this, put a buckle on it, and put a screw with a washer through it right here, and that would just, and then make it so I could cinch it down. If you want to do something like that, you could as well. There it is. It's not gonna, if we roll over or tip over, it's not going to come out and rip a bunch of wires out and end up on the bottom of my seat, shorting out or something like that. So I'm happy with that. Yet again, this is where if you do anything I do and something gets messed up on your machine or you hurt yourself, I'm not responsible. If you don't like the way I'm doing something, don't do it. But there you go. Now you know how to make a battery hold down, or an idea of one anyway. Now get out there and get your junk working. Thanks for watching Junk Works Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.